Welcome to Hoops Temple Coach's Corner. Here's where we look at some of the offenses and potentially some of the defenses from around the league. Today we're going to look at the Boston Celtics comeback win over the Oklahoma Thunder. We're going to start off when Boston's down 29-42, and they've got kind of a bench unit in, well, a hybrid bench unit because we do have some starters, but they're resting more in this play. All right, so here we've got Rozier bringing the ball up the court. And what it really wants to look at is Tatum's movement across here. So they're still in a bit of a secondary break, and they're going to take up the spots of a 1-4 set here. Once they get into the 1-4 spot, we've got Ojale coming up to set the screen in for Rozier. Rozier's going to really set his man up. He's going to go to the left, then come back to the right. Tatum's cutting across. And really, Tatum's looking like he's trying to set a screen. Tatum is signaling, he's got his left hand up, a thumb backward, trying to say, hey, up back door. But Daniel doesn't notice it. Daniel comes up here, kind of crowding the space for that pick and roll. Also, Rozier's not able to get much. But once Daniel's up, he kind of realizes his mistake, looks and sees that Paul George was really anticipating in this pick to work. So Paul George has stayed down low. And Daniel's able to get into the lane, set a nice screen. Tatum curls around here, catches, has a wide open look. A little bit later on in the game, Celtics are still trailing. This play came right out of a timeout. Well, they're really looking to try to get Marcus Morris set up. And we've got Kyrie Irving bringing the ball down on the left-hand side of the court. Morris is going to set a screen for Tatum. He's going to curl around it. And really, this curl was wide open, but Irving's hesitant. He doesn't pull it on the pass. What's nice to see here is on the weak side, Brown's coming down, and Brown really is a good distraction. Irving probably could have done a skip pass to Horford at any time during this play, here for an open three. Once Tatum's curled out, Morris is going to come over and act like he's going to set a screen, but he really just slips it. As soon as he feels Anthony leave, he slips this, goes about to the NBA logo, over a mid-range jump shot. Horford now is stepping in, Tatum's curling around, and Irving's going to hit Morris for the shot, but it's nice to see that if this slip screen hadn't worked, they did have a backup plan with Tatum curling around. He's got a double screen on the weak side to come get that three. All right, a little bit later, when we've got most of the starters back in here and Marcus Smart, we're going to have Marcus bringing the ball down the court on the right-hand side. He's going to look to swing the ball over to Horford, or to the top of the key, and then set a screen for Irving. After the screen set, Irving's going to come high, and Horford's going to meet him for a dribble handoff. On this, Irving's looking to attack, but it's really interesting. Steven Adams stays with him. He hedges. He doesn't fully commit, leaving Horford wide open. And Westbrook stays low. Well, they're really giving it to Marcus Smart. They're going to let Marcus Smart catch and shoot. So, with Adams in the middle, Westbrook stays low. Roberson comes around. They're leaving Smart open. Smart catches. Smart does not want to shoot it. And instead, Westbrook pops out. He's able to try to hit Horford on the block. Now, Horford ends up getting pushed out a little bit. But it's interesting that the guys don't just stand still. They keep moving. And so Smart's immediately going to go set a screen and then slip to the basket. And Irving's going to come around looking for that catch and shoot three. As Horford gets pushed out, he faces up, looks to drive. Now, Smart continues down and gets interior position on Paul George, who's come over to provide some great help defense. Unfortunately, Horford has great vision, so he's able to look past Paul George and hit Brown for the open three. Now, this set, Boston ran about 5 straight times. It was to end the fourth quarter. Well, about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter is when they ran it. And I'm going to show one of the sets, but they ran the same action. Occasionally Irving passed it off. Occasionally Irving just drove it. But they're going to start out on a horn series with 2 guys at the free throw line and other 2 wings. He's kind of down in the corner area. Ogilvy is going to clear out here, and Horford's going to come up, set this screen. Irving's going to play to his strong hand to the left, have to try to drive to the basket. Horford then steps out. Now in this possession, Irving drove all the way in and scored, but on other possessions, they've been leaving Horford wide open, and for the kickback, and he's been able to hit that 3. It's kind of a devastating option because they're surrounding Irving with shooters and giving him that pick to get him going. Once he gets that full head of steam going down the lane, he's really hard to stop, and the rest of Boston's shooters are really good catch and shoot players. So these are just some of the sets that Boston was running. It ended up looking really nice as they made their comeback against Oklahoma. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll try to do this again next week.